Thanks very much. I'd like to introduce Rutene, who will lead us in a welcoming karakia.
Thanks, Daniel. Tapu whakatahau ki te uru, tapu whakatahau ki te tonga, e hea ki ana. E mana ki uta, ki mō tarata ki tai. E hea ki ana, ia te apura, e tio, e hoka, e hauhu, tuhei, Māori ora. Ko li Rutene toko ingoa. Ko maunga tāne te maunga, ko taku timu te waka, ko waipawa te awa, ko tiatanga a mahi to iwi, ko Wayne toku papa, rawa ko Alice toku mama, ko Sunny toku tuakana, rawa ko Kurt toku te. I don't speak English now. That's just a little bit of my family, where I'm from. So I'm originally from Warnabeda in Wellington, but have ties in Gisborne. I just want to say a big mahi to you all for coming tonight. A special mention to Sonja and Kerrie for inviting me here tonight, and it's a privilege to kick off proceedings. I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, just welcome to you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lee. Everyone, my name is Daniel. I'm going to be your MC tonight. It's not my native activity, so if you can't hear me, please just raise your hand or wave to me or something and I'll speak up. Kerrie and Sonja would like to take a moment to express their gratitude to Lee very much for doing the karakia for us this evening, and also to acknowledge his Paralympian sporting achievements and continued disability advocacy work. We will now just do a little bit of housekeeping. Obviously we're operating under red Omicron restrictions at the moment, so I would just ask that everybody please keep your masks on, present exclude of course, for a moment here. And if you need to, there are exits there and there. We require them. There are also toilets through here, but just be aware there is a step down, so watch it if you have to use it. We won't be serving any food or drink, I'm afraid, tonight for obvious reasons. I'm a friend and admirer of Sonja's. I had the great pleasure of meeting Sonja when I was in Australia at a convention. Sonja very thoughtfully came up and introduced herself, although for the first 2 days of the convention, Sonja was wearing a mask of a dragon, so I had absolutely no idea who the person was that I was talking to, but we connected on a creative level immediately and have become fast friends and remain friends ever since. So it's my great pleasure to MC for you tonight, and I'm so thrilled that you are here showing off your amazing work to everybody. A couple of little wee things here. We will have a couple of speeches tonight. Sonja is going to speak. My good friend Mr. Richard Taylor is also going to speak to us and provide a few notes. I would invite you now. Beg your pardon here, I've lost my place in my notes. Okay, here we go. I'd like to draw your attention to a couple of things. One is there's a charity auction. So over there at the next to the little wee fire smashed glass piece over there, you'll find there is a micro wyvern and also a canvas print. Both of those, if you care to make a anonymous bid on there, or sorry, a bid on there, and pop it in the box. Any proceeds from those sales will go to the Endangered Species Foundation, right? Which is your charity of choice. Yeah, great. Thank you. Also, there's a 10% discount on any purchases that are made this evening, so I would encourage anyone who is mildly interested to take advantage of that. beg your pardon, there's a 10% discount on purchases made tonight. I'm so sorry, Angela. In my rush, I completely went right past you. This is Angela, who is doing our sign interpreting for us tonight. Thank you. Richard, would you care to come and say a few words for us? Thanks very much, mate. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Dan. Hello, everyone. Nice to see many of my friends and colleagues here, and lovely to have the privileged position of speaking on behalf of Sonja and celebrating in this exhibition, which we are all enjoying. When Sonja asked me, I thought I'd better write down a few words and try and think about how I best describe the connection that Sonja has with her subject matter. Thanks to Kerrie as well. I think I met Kerrie and Sonja for the first time outside our workshop one evening when you were peeking around the corner of the gate post. Is that right? Maybe I met you in Australia or something like that, I can't remember.
3 days work experience, I ran into you on the stairs and you went, "Hello, I don't know you." And I went, "I'm not actually sure who you are either." I'm like,
Oh, well, good. It all worked out then. So I'm a big fan of Sonja, and I'm a big fan of her work, such that I have both commissioned and purchased work from this multi-talented and terrifically skilled artist. And of course, we have had the huge pleasure of Sonja also coming to work with us and turning her skills to a variety of disciplines. And many people in the room have probably worked with Sonja while she has been in the workshop. She is focused down to the most exacting of disciplines, that of hair punching, requiring the artist to place thousands of hairs, one at a time, into the subject matter that she is working on. Sorry, I added that after you read my notes. But of course, it is her personal art and the exquisite delicacy and masterful craft that is the subject of this gorgeous exhibition and the contents within, and the reason that friends, colleagues, family and enthusiasts have gathered tonight. Now, when I was a child, which is a fair long time ago, I was fortunate to come into the possession of a dog-eared print of The Garden of Earthly Delights by Hieronymus Bosch. I hung it on my bedroom wall, a relatively modest bedroom in a sharemilker's cottage, surrounded by dairy cattle and farming equipment and farm chores. But that print sat on my wall, and I'd lie on my belly looking into that print. And through this detailed and singularly imaginative artwork, I was able to appreciate for the first time a fictitious and fantastical world running in parallel with my own. Peeking just through the veil of imagination, step in step with my own existence. And through this painting, I came to appreciate at an early age the invention of unique worlds and the creation of alternative life forms to those in our already plentiful ecosystem. It is the unique and creative minds of artists working in this way that have so enriched our enjoyment of these otherworldly creatures and species. And it has become the staple of fantasy artists servicing screen entertainment of the past 100 years, never mind the abundance of video games, card and board games, paperback covers, albums and music videos, fantasy art posters, and all array of imaginative artworks that have so elevated our appreciation of this type of speculative biology. Sonja has made an art of amalgamating the components of different animals to create these extraordinary skeletons and creatures that we see around us. Her imagination takes on the anatomy of alternative species that may live in the undergrowth and skyscrapes of our imagination. And this is something that Sonja has done with spectacular results. Taking that which we think we know, and by amalgamating them in a biologically believable and clever ways, Sonja has created a macabre beauty that would proudly sit in any collector's cabinet of 18th century curiosities. It excites me to think where this brilliantly talented artist will take her uniquely inspired artworks in the coming years. And wherever this may be, I am confident it will continue to bring delight and intrigue to those that are fortunate enough to intersect with Sonja's amazing biological oddities. Please join me in congratulating Sonja on this beautiful exhibition.
For the advocacy and the encouragement of young creative artists in New Zealand, especially anybody working in an unusual imaginative capacity than Sir Richard of Weta Workshop. So thank you so much.
Thanks. Very good. Well, cheers to you all.
Or were you happy to keep going? Great, thank you so much. And apologies if I was going fast before I was nervous. I'm going to turn the floor over to you, Sonja, to tell us a little bit, give us a few insights inside your mind.
Don't be scared. Okay. Throughout Kinakotu katoa ko Sonja Howard aho. Thank you all for coming here tonight. Today, summer. For all of history, humans have been weaving stories from impossible things, of mermaids and dinosaurs-made-dragons. I invite you here tonight to take a closer look at the ordinary things of our world and imagine, if you will, something impossible. See, I was a weird kid. I remember vividly at age 6 walking to and from school for weeks, eyeing off this decomposing wallaby in the ditch. And I was really patient. I waited until almost all the bugs were gone before I scrambled down there, pulled off its skull, and went proudly parading it through my mum's very crowded shop, to the horror of all involved. I am really lucky to have such a patient mother. I'm also lucky to have such a supportive community who were willing to encourage my peculiar tastes and teach me about animals and the value of the environment. And I soon began incorporating this collection of bones into my artwork. I began making my own fantasy creatures and selling them in high school. However, in 2019, my imagination was rekindled by the work of Gerard Gear, who does similar skeletal articulations. He was doing a workshop in Melbourne to reconstruct tiny little mice skeletons. So I went along and I got one of the take-home kits, thinking, you know, it'll be a scalpel, a couple of chemicals, no big deal. It was a colony of flesh-eating beetles, which I then had to get on a plane. But I took them home and I began working with some frozen mice that my snake had rejected. And soon these little adorable rat skeletons began morphing into small dragon skeletons instead. And then I started coming up with different species and taxonomies, and it all just sort of snowballed along with autistic hyperfocus into this exhibition. Woo! If you care to read about any of the particular details, there are plenty of signs around for my army of flesh-eating beetles, the taxonomy, and about myself. I was really keen to make this exhibition as accessible as possible, and also to serve as a kind of inspiration for other neurodiverse individuals that, you know, we're capable of impossible things too. Finally, I wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone that has helped make this exhibition possible. From the people who supported me in the final days, madly running around getting things done, my wonderful mother, the people who would randomly message me in the middle of the day going, hey, found a dead thing, you want it? I couldn't have done this without you guys. And thank you, of course, to the wonderful community in Wellington. I moved here 2 years and 2 days ago today, and I could not have imagined the incredible adventures that I would embark on in my time here. Thank you all so much.
Before I turn you all loose to explore Sonja's amazing imaginative works, I wanted to check, does anyone have any questions or anything they would like to ask Sonja? I'm sure you can find her later as you're looking around in any case. Okay, in that case, I would just like to say thank you to you all so much for coming along, for supporting us all this evening. Please mingle and enjoy the space, and yeah, have a good fun time exploring impossible things. Thank you, everybody.